and welcome back to episode 61 of the 5 Minute Major Podcast of St. Louis, presented by Across the Board Games and partnered with Gateway Sports and Skate STL. Josh, how you doing, buddy?
We're good.
It's been a tough go here for Blues fans, as we know. It's just trying to remain positive for the future right now, as Mike Meyer basically said last night on their live cast for sports, STL Sports Central. It's just not fun, but the future could be bright. There's some young prospects and players that are actually producing pretty well, and actually a little bit of leadership coming out of guys that you wouldn't expect, which we talked about before we hit the record button, which we might get into. Talk about your day, bud. Welcome back to the States.
Yeah, back. We got back late Tuesday night, went back to work 3 in a row at the hospital, and we are back grinding, going to be working a bunch, and we'll be doing a bunch for the podcast. But got my skates back with me from Canada, so I'm going to hit the ice a little bit back here in Iowa just to get back on the ice and get skating. But, it's a warm day in Iowa. It's 20 degrees, so we're warm right now. We're not negatives, and we're not negative wind chill, so we are thriving here. But, this team is in a very interesting spot, but it seems that Blues fans are very understanding of the current situation, and I think the tank for McKenna or Ivar is really on, and I think a lot of fans are finally excited that they could get I don't know about a superstar, but a game-changing player that this roster just doesn't have right now. And I'm excited to see what could come about.
Yeah, potential superstar. Potential.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're still 18 years old, but I agree. I think the Blues fans are a little bit accepting, but I also think they're going a little stir-crazy. I've seen a lot of crazy trade rumors that they're trying to bring up, which we've talked about. But some of them are just a little wild, so we might get into that too.
But they're still showing up to games. I think they sold out almost every game on this homestand. So
crazy.
It's wild. It's a different era in St. Louis sports. Shout out SLU basketball for being the shining light for the local community. But we will see what will happen here post Olympic break. We got a couple games leading up to that, and a lot to. It's going to be a busy return. I think the trade deadline will be happening. We're going to see how the Olympics go. I'm pumped for Olympic hockey. We're going to see it again since 2014. So
yeah. All right, before we start, let's talk about our sponsors and partnerships. Across the board, they provide the best high-quality board games in the area and across the country. Visit them at West County Mall, Frontenac Mall, and the Crestwood location off Watson Road. Just stop in, tell them we sent you, and they'll have a huge smile on their faces. They always do. They are the best, the nicest people ever. They're going to treat you just like family, just like everyone does in St. Louis. You can visit online today at shop.atbgame.com, and if you subscribe using your email right now, you can get 20% off your first order. Also, be sure to check out Gateway Sports. We're partnered with them, and we are the featured hockey podcast on their website. They also cover basically every sport under the sun for all age groups in the St. Louis metro and over into the Illinois area as well. They're expanding a lot, I've noticed. They've got some good podcasts that they've added recently, and they're posting some good stuff. So go over there, check them out, and check us out on there as well.
Yep.
Josh?
Last but not least, though, we wanted to do a shout out to Skate STL for the continued success, building healthy habits and long-lasting memories for all ages through skating. Skate STL does an incredible job by bringing skating to you. Just need to give them a call or visit their website at skatestl.com. They also have tons of aspirations in the near future, hopefully building a facility dedicated to healthy activities in the local STL area. Augie is leading that company in such a positive manner, and we love to support his business and his growing aspirations.
Yeah, shout out to his partner Brandon as well. He's in Atlanta. They've discussed trying to kind of branch to skate ATL as well, which is kind of cool. So, man, they're making tons of connections just even across the country. So shout out Skate STL. All right, let's get into the NHL news for the week, bud. crazy scoring.
Yeah,
Crazy.
January was the month of the hat trick, baby.
Wild. 31 hat tricks in the month of January. Breaks the record. I think it was 28 or 29 previously. Tons of defensemen scoring hat tricks. Darlene had one. I know that.
Ekholm
Buffalo
had
had
one.
like 4 or 5 hat tricks in the month as well in total. So they've been rolling.
Yeah. Bouchard and
Ekholm
Bouchard both had
back-to-back.
hat tricks back-to-back in the same month, which I think was the first time in history of the franchise.
Wild, especially with Coffee and those kind of defensemen being up there. But
yeah,
I know the 32 Thoughts podcast talked about the most hat tricks by a defenseman in their career, I think.
Okay.
And Bobby Orr had 9.
Yeah.
And the next guy had 6. So Bobby, heck of a player.
Yeah, good Lord.
A little segue. We're talking about defenseman Victor Hedman. He's coming back today.
Good.
Stadium Series game. So we talked about maybe the Olympics for Sweden being kind of rough with all their injuries. But if Hedman comes back, that really stabilizes their back end. They have the goalies to make timely saves, but they still need to get a couple players back. I don't know if they will.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they did announce the replacements for Leo Carlsson and Jonas Brodin. There was no replacement announced for Victor Hedman, so I'm thinking Team Sweden knows a little bit of stuff we don't, and he will be heading over to Italy to play for Team Sweden, which I'm excited. You need Victor Hedman on the back end for this Swedish team. That's a big boy with big leadership and really will help stabilize them, like you said.
Yeah, I don't know who the replacement would be for Brodin. I mean, on the ice, Broberg might be getting some playing time, which is awesome.
They announced the player. I know Marcus Johansson's taking the spot for Leo Carlsson.
He deserves it. He's been great this year.
He just finds a way to be competitive every year. Yeah. So, we shall see how this team fills out. I'm excited. And we'll kind of see the future unfolds here because Brodin did undergo surgery. So
yeah, that stinks for the Wild, but I mean they're stacked, so it really won't matter. Quinn Hughes is 2 players combined on the ice, so I think he already broke the record for most games in a row with an assist in Wild history.
Yeah, I think they went
51 games or 51
Their defense
days.
went from like 24th in the NHL up to 1st. So
that's how good he is.
It just put everyone in the correct spot, and good Lord, that's insane.
Yeah. Now the question with Hughes is, are they going to extend him? They're going to have to figure some things out. But if they're going for broke this year to try and beat out Colorado and Dallas, they need to get another center. And we'll be talking about that later.
Hampus Lindholm will be taking Jonas Brodin's spot. Another big boy. It's a good pick. Yeah. I'm not mad about it. I think Hampus Lindholm's a good defenseman.
Yes, of course. Probably the next best pick in the league. Yeah. So, okay, on to the next. Rick Bowness. He was hired in Columbus a few games ago, 8 to be exact. They're 7-1 since he took over. They're rolling. And I've seen some clips of him, and he is a player's coach, man. He loves it. He's got a smile on his face all the time. He's patting players on the back. Like, that goes a long way for a team that's struggling. And Werenski, man, that guy is Norris Trophy. I think he should win it. 100%.
Talking on the pregame last night, Jamie Rivers was like, he's not a defenseman. He's a forward that plays defense because he's, what has he got, 18, 19 goals already this year?
Yeah. He leads the defenseman.
It's crazy. Also, will be another guy that should dominate in the Olympics.
Yeah, it's something about the Olympic years making some of these guys just light it up. And he was really good last year, but this year I hope he wins the Norris. I love Cale Makar. He's so fun to watch, but I still think Werenski's just overall better, personally.
Yeah, two-way playing defense. I think I'd rather have Werenski on the back end playing defense over Cale Makar in a way. I know the offense is always great, but I like Werenski.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and right now they're neck and neck in offense too, so it's kind of crazy. All right. William Nylander came back to Toronto after his injury and also flipping the bird to the camera that fined him $5,000. Toronto stinks right now, bud.
Yeah,
I had
it's
high
bad.
hopes for them. I had high hopes for them. I was like, they kind of rounded it out after losing Marner. They got some big bodies. Berube hockey, no injuries. Their
Traded your
superstars are
draft
just
picks away.
yeah. Draft picks are gone. Matthews is scoring more this year, but he's still off. I feel like, but I mean, I haven't watched many of the games. All I know is it's just kind of a dumpster fire, and it feels bad. And I kind of feel bad because I did have high hopes for them. I thought they were going to sneak into the playoffs and kind of be a Florida type team, but right now they're just
They're
not.
last in their division. They're behind Ottawa, who is also a dumpster fire as of late. But this Toronto team is dysfunctional. I don't know what the solution is. And truly, I think letting Marner walk will be forever one of the biggest mistakes. But I think Marner is happy and healthier playing outside of Toronto because it is a pressure plane in Toronto. I mean, that city has everything on that hockey team under a magnifying glass.
Oh,
and it's a great place to play, but it's also a very hard place to play because you are the center of attention in that area. And I realistically, I don't see this team making it to the playoffs.
No, I agree.
And with that, I think Berube may be a casualty of that. I don't think it's that Berube's not a good coach, but I think this team is just much like the Blues, where coaches are just going to continue to get fired until you decide that maybe it's the roster that's the problem. But kind of segueing on to teams that are doing bad, that relates to getting high draft picks. And one of the guys that could be a high draft pick, Gavin McKenna, had a goal and 2 assists in the outdoor game at Beaver Stadium against Michigan State. First off, what a backdrop. Those photos.
Crazy.
Apparently it was electric. I didn't get to watch the game. But good Lord, it was wild. McKenna had a great game. I think he's finally coming into his own a little bit more at Penn State. And then shout out Colin Ralph, who's a Blues prospect that is a defenseman for Michigan State. He was in that game. I think he got a little mixed up in some toughness on the ice. But interested to see where the Gavin McKenna stock will go. We were talking about this in pre podcast chat. Like I don't feel like we've had a year where it's like who's going first, second, third. Everything is just continuing to switch. It was the big three of Stenberg, McKenna, Verhoff, and now Verhoff is dropping. Ivar's going up. McKenna, we've seen projections going down. Like I don't know truthfully what's going to happen here. So Michigan State did pull off the 5-4 overtime win. Charlie Strawman, Minnesota Wild draft pick, did complete the hat trick there. But
he looked crazy. He was like a man in Mike's boys that game. He was kind of just lighting it up, just in general. Michigan, I think they pulled out like a really good stretch of games recently for Michigan State. Now they have to go play number 1 in the country, which is Michigan. That's going to be a heck of a matchup.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. We'll get to the McKenna talk later. He's been way better.
Yeah,
way better. So, and then finally, Olmark. He returned back. Obviously, I think it was a couple weeks ago. He got his first win since December 28th, which is a long time. But it was an emotional day for him. I think the Senators kind of almost did like a tribute video for him coming back. Yeah, he said it was emotional, and then that's huge because the Senators need a solid goaltender right now, more than anything. And Brady basically said he was the best player for us that game, and that's huge. So, I mean, that's a good culture in the locker room, I think. It's just they got it. Now is time to lock it.
Yep.
After the Olympic break, you have to lock in if you want to make it and be where you were last year. But it's going to be hard. So we'll see with Ottawa. And shout out to Olmark. Glad he's back. Heck of a goalie.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah. Okay. Blues news, bud. Best team in the NHL. All right, we'll
Robert
start with
Thomas.
Robert Thomas, bud. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, small procedure, surgical procedure that will be getting done over the Olympic break, but should be ready to go post Olympics. I think we knew. I feel like this year's just been a injury prone year for him. He's been riddled with injuries, and he hasn't come back. I don't think he's come back healthy from any single one of them. I think he gets good enough where he can play and is back. And we're seeing that with multiple players on this team. Segueing into our next guy, Holloway is back on the IR as well. I don't know why we brought him back. It seems like we probably should have brought him back too early. Should have let him ride it out post Olympic break and just brought him back. It's not like we're competing for a playoff spot right now. So
that's how I feel. It's weird to me. Like, I'm sure he was like, I want to play, I want to play, I want to play. And then they're like, all right, you're good. Like, sure. Yeah. And then, but they're probably saying, hey, it's not going to feel that good. Because there's still stitches and stuff and like all that. So, yeah, just, I think shut him down just completely. I think Thomas shouldn't play either. Just shut him down, dude. Pull the Panarin. I'm going full blown, like, just go for the tank right now.
Yeah.
And if you want them to come back and play and produce points, great. But if they get hurt again, what are we doing? That would be a huge mistake. I feel bad for both of those guys, though. I know they're gamers, and I know they want to win, and I know they want to produce. But right now, it's just not it. Take the year, rejuvenate, and go to the next. Happier news: Pius Suter's back, and I think he had a point in the last game. Our 5-3 loss to Columbus. He's a heck of a player, dude.
Yeah,
on a great contract, and he's basically your Alex Steen. He wins faceoffs, he battles down low and wins puck battles and goes to the front of the net and gets dirty goals. So
yeah, not flashy, but consistent.
Yeah, I agree. And he's kind of had a down year too, of course, with the injury, but I think that 40 to 50 point threshold is obtainable for him on a team that's actually doing something.
Mm-hmm.
But this year's just been a wash. But I'm happy he's back. I always liked him. You never know, he could get traded. He's got a great contract. People need a center. So we'll see what happens with him.
Yep.
More happy news. Otto Stenberg, well, I guess not that happy, but he had to get set down for roster management because they wanted to play in the AHL.
Yeah.
If he would have stayed up and played one more game, he wouldn't have been able to go back down and play. So
I think if he plays 16 games,
14 or 16, I think.
Yeah, it's right around there. The player association requires him to then take the 3-week or the break for the Olympics.
Right.
And if you're a Blues fan, I get you're like, well, he should missing a couple games up here to play 5 to 10 more games during the Olympic break. I think for his development is needed. He's going down. He's working with Steve Ott. He's playing first line left wing. He scored last night, I'm pretty sure, in their win. He's playing with Matthew Pekka and Dylan Dubé. So, I mean, he's playing power play, penalty kill. He's just getting minutes. So that's what he needs to be doing because he needs to keep building up his legs. So,
yeah. He's been great up here, too. I mean, he's been effective. Him and Dvorsky really work together up here.
Hockey mindset.
Look really good. Yeah, They look really good, so I'm happy for them. Let's do the too soon contract extensions, bud, and then we'll ask the question.
Yeah. So I'll kind of start us off with the too soon contracts extensions. The first guy, Berggren. I have him staying. I think he's young. He's in that age group. He has shown glimpses of really coming into his own here. He's a Swede, which we are all about the Swedish players now. I have him maybe at a 1 or 2 year deal at $2 million a year. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a 2x1 if he just wants a kind of try out and see what he can do, or a 2.5 kind of $1 million deal. A lot of this is going to come down to, is he going to have a role in your bottom 6 or your top 6? He needs to be a top 6 player just because of his skill. But he's on the power play right now. He's playing good heavy minutes. He's got great hockey IQ. But like we've talked about, and the flaw that a lot of people say is when he is not engaged, he vanishes and you can't even tell he's on the ice. I think we've seen a lot less of that here, and I don't know if it's the new team boost, but I think he has earned himself an extension to stay for at least another year with this team, with players leaving.
I could agree with that. And with the team, being hurt, like it's going to kind of be hard to gauge where he will sit in the lineup. Mm-hmm. He's probably going to be a third line player if he stays, if everyone's healthy, and if we don't trade anybody for some reason.
And my thing is, I think you can get the type of return that a Bolduc was going to give you from him.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you could maybe get another prospect for him, like in a 1-for-1.
Yeah, you could get, or I'm just saying, like the goals and the assists that you're seeing from a Bolduc right now. I think you can get a Berggren
out of Berggren.
Out of Berggren.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Which I think he could be 15 to 20 goal scoring guy. But he's strictly scoring goals and passing.
Plug and play.
That's about it. All right. Let's talk about Fabry. He really, really needed to play, I think. He's a gamer. He lays big hits, and he has finally scored like a goal this year, and I think he really needed that for his psyche. If Joseph is gone, he has to stay. He's your another third line winger. Him and Berggren. I think it's the same type of deal. One or two.
It's okay if he sits
for a mil.
He can. Yeah, he can sit, and I think he's a good locker room guy, and I think he's leadership for some of these younger players coming in.
Yeah, $1 million deal. That works for me. Keep him here where he's won and he likes it, and he gets to possibly play third line minutes. So great, yeah.
Yeah,
and I think he's just been effective. I think he's been the one player that hasn't been like infected by whatever's happening this year with the mental and the lack of effort on certain periods of play and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like he has always brought the 100% since he's been here, which is huge. So hopefully he doesn't get infected, but he's been effective when he's on the ice. So, all right, Sonny Bud. You think he's coming back?
So here's the thing. I think if Sonny plays hockey next year, he plays hockey here.
Yeah.
I don't see him going to play for another team at this point in his career. I think he likes it too much here. His wife's from here. But I also would not be surprised if he's like, I am in constant pain. I am held together by Gorilla Glue and duct tape.
Yeah, basically.
But I have him at this point in his career. I think he's taking 1-year deals. I think he's a very serviceable forward still, as a scratch in the lineup because he can do a lot of things for your team. This is going to come down to some of the trade talk. If we move on from some players that we have on our list here, he's probably back. Just because he's a culture guy, he's a locker room guy. I don't see him making more than $2 million on a 1-year deal next year.
No way. Yeah,
I think that's the max. I really think at 1.5 million again from where he was. Just because you're paying Walker in the 850,000 range. You're paying Torpo 2.5, which 2 right in there. So I think Sonny can go right in the middle if you trade a Bukestad. So
yeah, definitely. Okay, and then Dylan Holloway, but of course he's been hurt, which stinks. He's had the one good year last year. Hasn't really been the same since his first injury against Pittsburgh. I know a lot of people want him no matter what, long term. They've seen what he can be. We're kind of on the opposite, where we think he still needs to prove that he can be a healthy player and can consistently get 60 points. So it's a bridge deal. We don't really know what the number will be, but we know that it has to be just a 2 or 3 year deal,
Yeah. We talked about a comparative deal to what Jake Neighbors got, which Neighbors is he's got one more year after this at 3.75.
Yeah.
So maybe that.
Yeah. Maybe you sign. Maybe you just give him the Neighbors deal, and then Neighbors gets another one or a longer term because he shouldn't go anywhere.
A $5 million 4-year deal, I think, could be $20 million over 4 years. So
sounds great to me.
Yeah, I think all these players have potential to come back. I know some people are going to be like, "You guys are idiots." We're not a winning team right now. We're not going to probably be a winning team next year, in my opinion, just yet, unless we. It's doable because we've seen the Capitals, but the Capitals is also taking a step back this year. So Berggren fits in the age group that you want. Holloway fits in the age group you want. Sonny's just a veteran that seems to be loved in the city, and then Fabry's a filler if you want. Realistically, Fabry's probably not back because you're going to try to go with a Kaskamaki or Dylan Pedersen or some of these young players. But you have options, and I think Fabry would be okay staying here for another year if need be.
Yeah, I mean, I agree 100%. I don't know if the team's going to be like. There's people that think this is a fluke year. I can understand that because the injuries and the lack of production from our top guys,
and the terrible goaltending,
terrible goaltending, which we'll get into.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's just kind of a weird retool year where you're trying to get younger players up to speed and you need to move bad old contracts. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So maybe it is a fluke year. Maybe it's only a 1 or 2 year retool that we've been seeing for the last forever years. But we're talking about full blown just tanking and rebuilding this thing from the studs with the prospects you've developed and then possibly developing a superstar or getting a superstar. So we'll see what happens, but I don't know. Right now is not good. Next year we'll see. I hope it's just a fluke. We'll see though. We're not going to beat Colorado. We're not going to beat Minnesota. We're not going to beat Dallas. Can't even beat Edmonton.
No.
So let's get into the recent games, buddy.
Do you want to talk about the last games that some of these players could have with us?
Oh, sorry. I totally forgot that we pulled that back. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So I'll just kind of lead our topic here. So did we see the last home game for select Blues players here? On our list, Justin Falk, I think it's safe to say this is probably his last home game we just watched against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Braden Shen, I don't know. I still have questions out if they're actually going to move on from him, and is he willing to get moved? Matthew Joseph, do we see him play for the Blues the rest of the season? Do we see him get sent down? Do we see him move to a team that wants a cheap bottom six player that seems to be healthy? Is Sundqvist going to get moved? That's the other question mark we talked about. Depth player, good for a playoff team. I think Bukestad would be a great addition for a bottom six of a playoff team. And then Pio Suter, who is a very serviceable center and winger. If you need a middle six center, I think he'd be a great option for some of these teams. That being said, I think Minnesota should be calling about Pio Suter when they need center depth.
I agree. Minnesota's, I don't know, they might be going after a bigger fish.
That's true. I saw Shane Pinto as a rumor. I know he signed an extension in Ottawa, but Minnesota is talking about trading goalies. So Wallstead is on the block apparently to land a big fish if need be. So
yeah. Depending. I mean, is it Panarin? Is it going to be Panarin? Is it going to be Ryan O'Reilly? Steven Stamkos? Could be any of those guys. They have the ability to go get them, obviously. I mean, Trocheck is another one.
Zibanejad?
You never know. He's having a heck of a year, too. So, yeah, Minnesota's one to keep an eye out for. Falk, but I've loved his game. I've loved his game. I don't care what anybody says. All the haters can finally shut up. He's been... I don't even really care about the little things that happen. Like, overall, Falk has been so good. Just eating minutes and making solid plays and producing offense lately. He should get you a solid turn. Obviously, Detroit, no longer Vegas, but Detroit, And I mean, Florida, if they're still in the hunt, you never know. So, I mean, Utah's another one that could go after another vet guy who can produce on the power play outside of Sergachev. Like, they're a sneaky one that wants a big fish right now. So, we'll see with him. And of course, Shen is the same thing. Shen is truly a pro's pro. He's played the right way his whole career. He leaves it all on the ice. Sometimes he makes crazy plays, but he's always fighting for his team, and he's a captain, and he knows how to play a role. So if you want maybe a little bit of a cheaper option to get for a third-line center, I mean, the price of his contract's a little high, but the price to get him might not be as high. Depending on what Army thinks. I mean, obviously he's overpricing his players, but Shen would be another good pickup for Minnesota, of course, and
which would
like that. So
open like $13 million in cap for the Blues too if you move on from these guys too.
So it's one of those things. Long-term players that need to go, unfortunately, because it's time to move on. We'll see what happens. All right, let's finally get into the recent games, but not great. We played Dallas at home. We lost 4-3. We let in another last-minute goal to Dallas in regulation, and it's just that thing. It's just, it was the 5-on-6 last year. Now it's just last minute in general, just killing us.
The first two periods we played terrible, and like realistically, like we had no right being in this game even in the end. Braden Shen put up 2, and Robbie scored his first goal with the Blues since coming back, and I mean we were chasing the game the whole time. So,
and that's Shen's mentioned that a lot of how we're constantly chasing, and that is just not going to work. It just never is. The comeback kids, it's just not a thing in hockey sometimes. So, but good on Shen and Fabry for producing. I mean, you tried, but it all failed in the end, of course. Dallas is too good of a team. They're just too good. All right, and then Florida came to town, bud, and this was just a wild game. It was a really wild game, a very, very entertaining game. Kachuk came back; he had 2. Just I don't know what it is about St. Louis-born players coming back here and just killing us.
Every single time.
Every player. Keller and Kachuk are the most recent. But Kyrou and Neighbors, who had been possibly out for this game, played, and they produced. Both had a goal. I think Kyrou had a goal and assist or 2. So Kyrou's actually been our best forward for the last 5 games, as he should be. The final was 5-4 win. In regulation, we scored a last-second goal to win on a great power play. I mean, that was the most free the power play has looked in years. And the one thing is Robert Thomas wasn't on the ice. So why are they now snapping it around and taking 1-Ts when he's not on the ice? I don't know. But we were. And it panned out, and we scored. Snuggie. Ripper, who's been shooting the puck so much more and scoring.
He's a goal scorer's scorer.
Yeah, he looks
great.
It. Yeah. Columbus came to town in the next game. We lost 5-3. Bennington was in net. This was solid first, bad second, okay third, turns into a loss type of thing, which we've seen all year.
Yeah, I just don't know. Consistently inconsistent. That's where we're at.
That's how it's been for years.
It was an interesting game. That ending segment where we gave up the empty netter. I don't know. This is the one flaw I will say. Kyrou had no right just shooting that puck there.
He had an off game for sure.
It was no force behind it. And he just kind of threw it at the net. When you have an extra guy on the ice, you need to just work the puck a little bit more and try to get that shot. But that being said, Bennington didn't look all that great.
When has he, brother?
And I just so many question marks. And I know he's a gamer, and I know his track record of the history, and I know he brings so much to the table. But like we were chatting about last night, how is he the guy going to the Olympics right now? Because his statistics for the month were awful. It was like an 830 save percentage.
Terrible. Bad.
So
worst in
I
the
don't know if
league,
he's starting. Does he start for Canada?
I don't.
John Cooper probably makes him start.
Loves him.
Cooper's going to have him start.
Yeah, he's going to come out and he's going to do it, bro.
Yeah, that's the thing. He'll probably come out and play amazing.
He's going to come out and he's going to light it up in Italy, and then he's going to come back and probably not be great. I think his confidence is completely gone, but he'll get it back.
Yeah, his confidence in his D is gone, if we're being honest.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. I agree. Pareko's been terrible. Broberg's the only shining star. Same with Falk, I guess, but they aren't even paired together right now.
Yeah.
So, and I blame that on the coaching. We talked about this. It should just be Broberg, Falk, Pareko, Fowler, and let the kids eat the third line minutes.
Yep.
Fowler is tanking an entire season having to play with a kid trying to develop. Falk has to play with Tucker, who's already had the chance to try and develop, and he's just not. He seems
stagnant now again.
He's not great. Yeah, so just put the guys back together and let the kids stink. Who cares? Yep. Just play them 10 minutes and let them stink. Doesn't matter. Yep. Anyway, we are, 29 and 9?
Yeah.
Let me go to the record real quick.
I have everything else pulled up.
We are 26 and 9. 7-15 and 3 on the road. 13-11 and 6 at home. We're 3-6 and 1 in our last 10. We have a minus 54 goal differential, which is tied for dead last with the Canucks.
Vancouver, yeah.
Who are 7 points less than us. That's how bad it's been.
And Tampa is a plus 52, and Colorado is a plus 74.
Whatever, dude. Whatever. That's how it's been. All right, we have 2 more games on the road before the Olympic break. The day you'll be listening to this, so 2nd of February at Nashville, and then we go to Dallas, so 2 losses, and then we'll go to the Olympic break.
It's the dad's trip for the Blues, so they're on there's the glimmer of hope for this team. It is the dad's trip, so maybe we'll see some good hockey with it being the dad's trip.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. All right, bud, let's get into a little bit more miscellaneous stuff, and then we can wrap this thing up. Okay. Current NHL standings, some notes here. Like we said, Columbus is 7-1 in their last 8 under Bones. They are making a run at this wild card, man. They are currently 6 points out of the playoff spot in a 5-game win streak. It kind of stinks right now because Buffalo and Boston are still winning. But they have a chance to do this thing. Them and the Caps. 9-1 in their last 10. Hey, holy moly. Good for Columbus. They're a heck of a team. People wrote them off. And now the Flyers, the Devils, the Leafs, even the Panthers are really on the outside looking in, man.
Yeah.
Does not look good for these guys. So the East, it was once jumbled up, but now it's really separated between the wild card and then the rest. For sure. But shout out Columbus.
Columbus really on a heater. Washington's also right there with them too. So I
know.
Washington's also 5 points out. 6 points out.
If Washington trades for a guy like Jordan Kyrou, that'll push them over the edge. Or Panarin. That'll really push them over the edge. So we'll see what happens with them. Are they buying or are they selling?
Also, is Florida get Barkov back? I mean,
We talked about this, man. We talked
Florida
about
just
how
needs to sneak in. That's all they need.
yes. So they're 8 points out right now. They've lost their last three. Not good, but they just lost to Winnipeg 2-1. That's
But also,
Hellebucker.
you've been playing a
Sure.
lot. You've been playing a lot of hockey, and I think it's finally caught up to them.
Yeah, for sure. And they're gonna have some guys in the Olympics to kind of stay fresh, but the rest can rest.
Mm-hmm.
Bob can rest. That's
Bob
huge for
needs to
them.
rest.
So you never know. You never know. These guys could come back with a fire. I know Kachuk will be playing his heart out. Same with Marchand.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens. The Rangers, buddy, they are completely accepting the tank with health bombing Panarin until he gets traded. They are currently 17 points out of the playoffs, 22, 28, and 6. They are the only team in the entire Eastern Conference with a below 500 record, excluding, the overtime OTL.
Yeah.
Technically, Toronto would be 25 and 30, but they have 9 overtime losses. You know how the NHL is weird. But they are 22, 28, and 6. I just want to give a round of applause to them. They needed this. They really needed this. It was time. I mean, we kind of mentioned this, how they've been kind of fluky for like a while, kind of barely getting in and winning a game or two and then getting bounced. So it's like they're old and they need a change, and it's time. So we'll see what happens. Panarin is hopefully gets them a massive return. Like they need it.
I don't think he will, though. I think it'll be. I don't know.
I know.
The issue is how much money he's owed. Unless they're willing to eat cap on him.
Yeah.
If you eat cap, you're getting a bag and a half. But I think it's going to come down to that. Also, like, everyone's for sale. Vinny, Zibanejad, everyone.
Yeah.
So, if you're Shesterkin, you're probably going, why did I sign here right now? But
he loves New York.
He got paid.
And, I mean, it's not like on paper their team's bad. It's just they're just not. They're just not working right now. JT Miller, man, yikes. I don't know how he's on Team USA, to be honest with you. We'll see what happens in New York. What else do I got here? Winnipeg, are they making a comeback, bud?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Dysfunctional team, man.
8 points out. They're 5-3-2 in their last 10. They just beat Florida. If they can kind of just keep figuring it out, you never know. They could sneak in, but they have to get past a good Ducks team, a good Kings team, and a good Mammoth team. So that'll be really tough to come back from, even to sneak in. But
with no scoring.
Never know. No scoring, but if Hellebuck is Hellebuck, and they do get some scoring at the deadline, it would be really funny to see them sneak in and then get destroyed in 4 games by Colorado.
It's just crazy how they go from the team they were last year and the Blues, even like how that all went to what they are now.
Flash in the pan, bud. Flash in the pan.
I also
losing Ehlers
I can't
was
stand that
huge.
head coach, man. I can't stand their head coach.
Arneal needs to get fired. I think he's terrible.
Yeah.
Losing Ehlers was huge for them. They didn't really bring in the same type of player. They brought in Taves, who's old as sin, but he's been fine, I guess. I don't know. They don't have any depth.
In his defense, you couldn't expect him to be the filler there, and Nikolai Ehlers is doing great in Carolina, so good for him. And I can like him a whole lot more now that he's in Carolina than he was in Winnipeg.
I want to bring up the question, are the Utah Mammoth going to buy at the deadline? They're currently 60 points, sitting at the wild card 1 spot, which is ahead of they're only a point ahead of like the rest of the pack, basically. It's going to be really interesting to see what they do. I know they kind of are looking for big fish, I think, low-key.
They have the capital to buy. They have their first the next 3 years. They have 3 second-round picks this year. 2 third-round picks, 2 fifth-round picks, and 4th-round pick and a 7th-round pick. Next year, they have 2 thirds, 2 fourths, 2 fifths.
So they could definitely get a player like Braden Shen. They could definitely get a player like Justin Falk.
And they have $15 million in cap.
They can get both of them.
They get both.
But I think they might be going after something bigger. I know Panarin is on their mind.
Yeah,
Panarin would be on their mind, which would be crazy.
Yeah.
But I personally think they should get a center. Personally, I think third line center and Braden Shen would do wonders for them. It really would. A Vinny Trocheck, like that would be great for them.
A Vinny Trocheck. If you could add a Vinny Trocheck and a Braden Shen,
even just one of them, but
yeah, I don't see the Blues trading Braden Shen in division.
I don't either. But it could be crazy if they did. It
could be crazy. I think Vinny Trocheck could be a great fit for them.
That'll be interesting to see. I like this Utah team, man. We said they were going to be a bubble team alongside of the Blues, but the Utah actually is running with it. Dude, their defense is great. It's so underrated.
I'm looking at their defense, and they're all on decent contracts.
Yeah.
Sergachev's making a lot of money. He's making 8.5.
He deserves it, though.
You got Dursey at 6. You got John Marino at 4.4. You got Ali Mata. Shout out Ali Mata. Got so much hate, but that man is stability. I know it didn't work out as well in Detroit, but 3.5 there. Nate Schmidt, also another guy we talked about that we love, 3.5. Ian Cole, 2.8. Grizzly vet. And then Nick DeSimone, who is a 31-year-old making 800.
Exactly. I mean, shoot, they could go out and get another depth defenseman, like get another vet. Why not Falk? Why not Falk for them? That would be great. So
Falcon will take 2 seconds.
Sure.
2 second-round picks on a prospect.
Sure. Whatever you want. I'm cool with that. So we'll see with Utah. That's awesome for them, man. I can't hate them. Tej.
Give me Tej Ginla back.
You imagine. I don't think they'd ever do that, but shout out to Utah, man. I like them a lot. I don't want to, but I like them. I just can't.
They're a fun team. They're fun.
Yeah. And then a quick shout out to the Penguins, the Islanders, the Sabres, the Kraken, the Ducks, and the Sharks, man. Just playing way better than they should right now. The Penguins are unbelievable right now. Like the best team in the NHL, hot. Them and the Sabres. Crosby and Malkin have turned back the clock. The depth.
Stuart Skinner, baby.
The depth is playing great, and their goaltending tandem of Shelovs and Skinner is working.
Yes!
So, 2 Canada goalies coming to the States and performing, and I love it.
When you said Shelovs was going to have a breakout player, and we just took an extra year and a new team.
That's what I'm saying, man. He had that great playoffs, kind of stunk it up in Vancouver, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Now he's over there in Pittsburgh, kind of playing all right. So good for him. Okay, buddy. I'll let you run with the women's league. It's been a great start here.
So PWHL standings going into the Olympic break are Boston Fleet, baby, are sitting at number 1 with elite goaltending from Levy and Frankel.
Yeah.
Minnesota Frost are sitting in second place, followed by the Montreal Victory. Yeah, Victory. The New York Sirens, shout out Dale. She's playing some good defense. She's getting her feet wet. She's working her way back into that full form. Happy to see her out there. Our 2 teams are Boston and New York, like you all know. You got Ottawa Charge sitting in 5th after making a late season surge here going into the break. Vancouver is sitting in 6th, followed by Toronto, and then Seattle is struggling in 8th place.
Yeah.
Interesting year in the PWHL. It's been physical. It's been feisty, big trades. I love it. The PWHL this year, I think, has shown they're going to grow. They have a great fan base. They are putting a great product on the ice. And Chris Barr is leading that Boston Fleet team and has the love of that city and the support of that city just flowing through those players in Boston.
Yeah.
And then to segue with that, I've been seeing a lot of videos, and this is very interesting how they do their draft. So they've fixed the tank. So much like we're sitting here saying, trade your players, just suck, do terrible at the end of the year. Once you are eliminated from playoffs, the points you are getting go towards points to get the top draft pick. So teams are still competing, still having to compete, and you can't just give up all the way. So you're eliminated. Now you can go on a hot streak at the end of the season, putting up big points, big wins, and then you're rewarded by getting a top draft pick. It's an interesting thought. NHL probably will never accept this because the owners just won't do it, and sometimes we're stuck in our ways. But I love to see this take on draft, and you kind of get rid of the lottery, and it's just a really cool system that I kind of like to see. But if you haven't watched the PWHL games, guys, you got to tune in. It's some fun games. There's some amazing skill in the PWHL. And so many of them are going to be competing in the Olympics. Shout out Joy Dunn, who will be playing for Team USA. It's just going to be a really exciting time, and it's a really exciting time for women's sports and the growth of this league. That is just so much fun to watch.
Yeah, I agree. I want to shout out the Frost, man. 4 of their players have a point per game. Crazy.
Yeah.
Of course, it's Kendall Coyne, and then Curl Salemi, and then Heasy and Panic. They're lighting it up for Minnesota, and that team's consistently been good. So shout out to them. I really like the lottery like point system almost for this because there's only 8 teams.
Yeah,
like you don't want teams constantly stinking or constantly being the best. It kind of shows that you can hopefully have competition throughout the whole league of only 8 teams, and then as expansions happen, then you kind of retract those rules or keep them. I mean, you never know. So it's kind of cool, kind of seeing the development of a league. We haven't seen it in a while, so this is really, really cool. And I mean, just overall, the PWHL is doing things that a lot of leagues can kind of take into account, and if they want to expand and try and get some people to watch and love the game. So, and it's just better for hockey in general.
I think 3 more teams are rumored, or 3 or 4 more teams that are planning on expanding. So I'm excited. It's going to keep growing. I was able to see the PWHL takeover game when they played in St. Louis. It was a fun time, fun experience. So really excited to see, and I think they've had no record sellouts in some of these takeover games. I think DC, they sold out the arena. That's awesome. I think it's going to be exciting to see the next 5 years of this league it's going to blow up. And I would like to, hopefully, I would love to see them get to a 20 league team at some point.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Just double it up.
Yep.
Pretty cool. And you already mentioned it, but Chris Barr, dude. Wow. How did we talk to this guy?
I
still from St. Louis.
Yeah, I still think it is hilarious that me just go, hey, just saw you get hired. We're a small podcast. Do you want to come on and talk? And he's like, yeah, sure, sounds good. And I'm like, bet. And now we have stayed in contact with him. He has nothing but support for us here, and he is phenomenal to talk to. Wealth of knowledge.
Oh yeah, great guy.
Great guy,
just in general.
Yep.
All right, buddy. Let's wrap it up with some random NHL news. We already mentioned Nylander was fined $5,000 for flipping the bird. Whatever, unprofessional. I think it's hilarious for the fans, but it's so unprofessional.
We talked about Panarin's going to be traded, so
yeah, we talked about Panarin. I mean, Utah, Wild, Florida, maybe Dallas, maybe Carolina are kind of the vibes on that one. LA as well.
LA.
I want to talk about Cole Caulfield, bud. He's just continuously like destroying people's thoughts on him. Like, he was too small coming in. I was like, he's rookie of the year. He's lighting it up, dude. Him and Suzuki together is so fun to watch, and I just am so upset that this guy is not playing for Team USA.
And JT Miller is.
It genuinely disappoints me. The one bad pick I think Billy made for sure is not having this guy on there. I mean, he is USA just bleeding red, white, and blue, and he's basically just showing that he's the best entertainment up in Montreal or in all of Canada, I guess, outside of McDavid. Like, just crazy good player.
He's got 32 goals, 25 assists, plus 20 in 55 games. He's over a point per game.
I mean, same with like Jason Robertson. I don't get it. To me, I just don't get it. But it is what it is. We're obviously not the general managers of Team USA.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get to another 70-point season at this rate. I mean, he's almost to his career high in goals.
Has he hit 50 once?
Yeah, he had 65 in 23-24. He had
goals. No.
Highest year was 37 last year.
So, I mean, if he stays on this pace, he's going to get 50 goals. Just awesome. So, shout out Cole Caulfield.
He's only playing 18 minutes a night.
Yep. What are we doing? All right. Well, all right, some more trade stuff, bud. Where do you think like the Calgary Flame guys are going? Is Kadri and Coleman, are they even going? Like,
I don't know. Like, it's so back and forth because I figured they would be traded by now. Does Kadri go back to Toronto? The teams I think he's being picky about probably where he wants to go. I think Coleman probably too. But I mean, Calgary's not in a good spot, but they come with hefty salaries. So, there's a lot of teams that need centers, and I think Kadri would be in addition to a lot of these teams that need the centers. I mean, Minnesota. I mean, Minnesota right there.
Sure. That'd be great.
Other than that, I mean, I haven't heard much rumblings or rumors on teams either, though. That's the other thing.
No.
Like, I mean, I don't think he's going to Vegas. Edmonton might not be a bad idea, who could use another center and just more scoring depth. I've heard San Jose. I just don't know if you want him in that locker room, in my opinion. I think he brings some baggage. Yeah. Winnipeg. What about Winnipeg? Winnipeg could use any of Kadri or Coleman. He fits in that older core. He's gritty. They score. Maybe that's an idea.
I don't know. Maybe. To me, Colorado needs to be in.
I think Blake Coleman could go to Colorado.
Yeah. Colorado needs to be involved on those guys. Utah, for that, I don't know. It doesn't seem like a fit to me, but they could use a guy like Kadri as well.
Seattle.
The fans won't like Kadri. Just like they wouldn't like Kane.
Shane Wright out for older guys that you're trying to go all in on.
I mean, you're making the playoffs, but you're getting smoked by Edmonton.
Yeah. Well, the other issue is the other guy we have on this list is Evander Kane. We've seen this over and over. It's like it doesn't work well in any locker room.
I think Vancouver is a little bit of the exception because the whole thing has been a mess for 4 years.
Yeah.
But the fact that they brought him in is so funny. But I mean, people want him. I think Dallas has been linked to this guy. It's wild.
Boston.
I don't know. Like, I just don't know where he can land where it'll be worth it.
That's true.
His contract's not great, right? I don't even know.
Shout out Tanner Jeanette, who's chilling over there making $3.4 million.
Tanner Jeannot?
Yeah. And
20
Boston.
points in 51 games for Boston. He's a +1. I mean, it's his highest point total since he was 24 years old. So shout out Tanner Jeannot. Holy smokes. All right, one last point, bud. We can talk about Wallstead out of Minnesota. We kind of hinted on it. We didn't really talk about it.
Yeah.
He's gonna, if they want to make that big splash, he's involved in the trade. Is he coming to St. Louis for Robert Thomas?
You can't trade Robert Thomas in the division.
No, I know.
But Wallstead would be your number one. Could you imagine running it with Wallstead and Hofer?
It'd be great.
It'd be great.
But now you need to now you need a center.
Now you need a center, which is the hardest thing that seems to like be able to get in the NHL right now.
Yeah, it wouldn't be worth it.
We talk about right-handed defensemen, but good Lord, trying to get a premier center.
Yeah. I mean, that one would be really interesting to see. Like, is Edmonton a place that would think about it? I mean, I think they said Jari was the guy that they're trying to run with, though, which is silly. Even though I had a little bit of high praise for Jari because I think he's technically better than Stu overall, but
I just don't know how cap-wise you could work it for him to go to.
Yeah. If anything, that Edmonton team, man, they just need some depth D and a couple, like a solid third line player. Like
you got too much money in your D, though, dude.
I can't believe Nurse is making 9.5.
You got 10.5 with Evan Bouchard. You got 9.25 with Darnell Nurse. You got Matthias Ekholm at 6, which drops to 4, and you're paying Jake Wallman 7.
I can't believe that contract.
Jake Wallman's $7 million
contract was laughable.
And he's got 14 points in 27 games.
Well, he hasn't played half the year.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. That's just not great. Anyway. I don't know. I think Wallstead... Dude, I think Minnesota should stay with him. I think they should just let him stay and run with the Gustafsson-Wallstead duo. That is,
as we've seen here,
lights out.
You have to have 2 goalies. The modern hockey system, truly, you need 2 goalies. Unless 100%. You have a Vasilevsky or an Igor Shesterkin. But then once you lose your goalie, like we saw in New York, where everything goes off the rails. Yeah. Once you lose your goalie, you're done.
Yeah, even Jonathan Quick can't save that team.
No.
Yeah. So, I mean, is Carolina involved in that one? Bussy's your guy, but if you can run Bussy Wallstead.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty solid. So, there's some teams that are going to be in on that. I'm sure they're calling Bill Guerin. And shout out Billy G for being, like, just very transparent. He's ready to win right now, so we'll see what happens.
Columbus should be all in to get Wallstead.
That makes a lot of sense. It really does.
Because I don't think
I like Elvis Jet Greaves, though.
I like Jet Greaves. Elvis had his run, but
yeah.
I wonder, you need a center, you need a guy to push you in the playoffs. You send a Boone Jenner or a Mason Marchment or some of these older guys, and you send some picks over with it. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe it's a Boone Jenner and like in a high pick or like a prospect. Because I know that Boone and Coyle are kind of the 2 odd men out on that team.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Coyle has the ties to Minnesota, and Boone has been there for his whole entire life, but he's old. So I don't know.
Also,
that'll be interesting.
If you're a Minnesota, do you call and see what Marchenko would cost? That's not a center, but it's a winger that you could play with Krill the Thrill.
No, they don't want to mess with that top line, I don't think, buddy.
Yeah.
Him and Boldy are nasty. Yeah, we'll see about the Great Wall of or whatever Minnesota. What do they call it?
Oh yeah, I forget. I know what you're talking about, but yeah, we'll see.
The wall of St. Paul. There it is.
Yeah, the wall of St. Paul. There it is.
You can't get rid of a guy like that.
No. So we'll see. We'll see here. A lot of question marks. Hopefully, we will be able to do live trade deadline coverage as well.
We will. I'll research how to kind of set that up properly so we can go live like all day.
And we'll talk more about this draft stuff coming up. We kind of hinted at it. There's a lot of moving pieces in this draft. Hopefully, we're gonna have Mike Meyer here in about a week or so, a couple weeks coming up. We'll talk about Olympic hockey prospects coming up, and we'll see what he has to say. But I won't dive too deep into this today. So we'll see. As always, guys, we appreciate you guys. This is crazy. We're at episode 61. Who would have thought we would be at 61 episodes already? But here we are. So for Mike and I, we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. And please like, share, follow, tell your friends, tell your grandma. I don't care if they want to listen. Everyone can listen. But this team is in a weird spot, and we'll see what these next 2 games bring us going into the Olympics. And then I'm ready for some Olympic hockey and USA to bring home that gold.
Yeah, let's go, baby. USA. Come on.
USA, baby. Let's go.
And shout out Italy, too. Let's go. All right, buddy.
As always.
Yep.
Let's go Blues.